Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. First, let's take a look at the major headlines. Of course, we're starting with what happened yesterday, and the NFF have actually come hard on the Super Eagles players. And what are they saying? Ship in or you have to ship out, but you have to give 120% for you to be able to participate, or rather be invited to the national team. Also on the program, what this man, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, says he's very happy in Paris, despite the fact that some issues actually crop up sometime. He said if he wasn't happy, he wouldn't have signed an extension with the club. We will also be talking Formula One, and this man, Fernando Alonso, has been given the all clear. He will be in action tomorrow, when, definitely from today, when the Malaysia Grand Prix qualifiers start. He will be there for his team. Now, yesterday we actually talked about, well, Michael Van Praag, what his vision were for FIFA presidency, and of course, Luis Figo, his vision also. But today we'll get to listen to Prince Ali, what he also had to offer if he gets, the presidency. Well, you know that Asian Federation have actually come up to say that their support is for Sepp Blatter. But let's listen to him, and after that, Taya Salam will be joining me.
FIFA, from a commercial perspective, has in many ways been riding the wave of European football's success, which has also helped directly the success of the FIFA World Cup. And while the popularity of the World Cup has soared, the image of the organization has sadly declined. Imagine a rejuvenated FIFA with its own reputation rebuilt and restored, coupled with the love of football. The only possible outcome will be explosive commercial growth far exceeding what we see now.
Okay, that's Prince Ali for you. We're talking about his vision for FIFA presidency, and all he wants is restoration of FIFA. I just want that dignity to be back there. Well, will he get the position? That is a very, very big question. Now, Super Eagles yesterday were did not really perform so well. And you guys can talk to us on Twitter and of course on Facebook. NFF have been talking to them, and even the assistant coach Daniel Amokachi talking about what he said to the players, that they have to give 120%. What do you guys think? Is it really the problem from the players because they had just one training session, or maybe the issue is up from Nigerian Football Federation, or maybe the coach, the fact that there's no consistency? You guys can talk to us on Twitter and of course on Facebook what you feel about the game. And of course, we'll get to read your tweet tomorrow. Whatever you guys are telling us, we'll definitely get to read your tweet. There are also other issues we'll be discussing on the show. You get to reach us on that. We'll be talking to Olajiri on the program on Keshi's contract. We'll also be talking to Tunde Pokwola on preparations for the Olympics. What do you think Nigeria should do to actually ensure that we have adequate preparations for the Olympics, which is taking place next year in Rio de Janeiro? Taya Salam joins me now on the show. Taya, good morning.
Cecilia, good morning. How was your night? Did you manage to sleep well enough?
Definitely,
after that performance by the Eagles.
Because I was flipping through the basketball game and also the Super Eagles, and when of course the Tigers won, I was happy that they won, and of course they've secured the ticket for the 2015 AfroBasket Championship,
yes,
and also for the All African Games. So Super Eagles is just a friendly.
So I guess it's safe to say it was a tale of mixed fortunes for you. The Super Eagles didn't deliver, but the Tigers actually did what they were supposed to do, winning that game against Burkina Faso. But then going to the Super Eagles, I think it was a disappointing performance, and there's no doubt about it. But then I'm not joining those people that are really losing it because of what
now let's take this quote from Amadio Pinnick, after the game, what he said to the players. Some people have been saying that it's really very harsh because of what is happening in Nigerian Football Federation. We can take this quote now. It says, when next you receive an invitation to represent Nigeria, you have a critical decision to make. Accept it if only you believe you are in the frame of mind to give everything, or decline if you don't feel that way. And because he said the camp of the national team would no longer welcome average players of good average players, of good players with poor attitude. So he would definitely not welcome that. And he says, today we are supposed to be celebrating with Vincent Yaman, his 100th cap, but your poor performance has ruined the party, and Nigerians are very, very angry. Now, this is a very tough one coming from Amajo Pinnick, president of Nigeria Football Federation. Demola Lajire is online now, the head of communications and, of course, head of media, Nigeria Football Federation. Good morning.
Good morning, Sisi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Now, the quote from Amajo Pinnick, some Nigerians are saying is really quite harsh. What do you think about it?
Well, I don't think it's harsh. I think it's aligning with the reality of the situation, and show that scores of millions of Nigerians were disappointed yesterday. It cannot be hosting Uganda and losing right at home. Everybody was disappointed. Everybody felt bad, and this was just, it came on board the Amajo Clinic, has continued to insist on new ways of doing things, and this is one of it. You have to tell people the truth. You have to tell them how you feel. You have to let them know that love their football, they love the national teams, that they want national teams. It is not about the fact that you've lost, the way you played.
Now, but if you take a look at what is happening in Nigerian Football Federation, now, some Nigerians actually have this opinion that it's really not with the players, judging from the fact that they had just one training session and most of the players were meeting for the first time together and playing together. Don't you think that would have been a major factor rather than, the NFF just kind of, coming harsh on the players?
Yes, President Yama said something like that, about the fact that a number of players were winning their first caps. They had only one training session, but that it is about attitude on the field of play. The NFF president said something. The NFF vice president also said something last night. He said his ability is not in question, but the attitude that you put up on play, the way you go for your tackle, the way you pass, and the way you relate generally on the field of play. It's bothersome that the Nigerian team will go out there and play the way those guys played yesterday.
Okay, now, do we have a coach right now?
Yes, I can tell you we have a coach. Mr. Stephen Keshi, his contract for two-year contract has been approved by the board, and I believe that sometime next week he is going to sign the contract.
Okay, he's yet to sign the contract, but it's going to be given a 2-year contract extension. That's the situation right now.
The 2-year contract has been proposed by the technical committee, and that was approved yesterday by the board. There are processes. The board, a draft, was prepared, and sent to Keshi. Keshi gives to his lawyer. His lawyer replied to the NFF. There was a meeting of himself, NFF, his lawyer, and then now that the board has approved, what is the final product of those processes, then the next thing is for him to sign.
Okay, the news is that he's yet to sign, but his contract extension has been approved. Now, on Vincent Yaman, despite the fact that he did not keep a clean sheet yesterday during the game, will the NFF still have a party for him as promised?
Yeah, we did. The NFF president presented him with a special plaque, a glass plaque to mark the 100 cap, and he was very happy. And of course, also last night the team held a kind of a party for him to celebrate with him.
Okay, plans for next game against South Africa?
Yeah, thank you. I can tell you that the team will be flying on a charter flight. The NFF has a charter flight for the team from Uyo, direct to Nesprut, and that flight will take off from the Yvonne Airport at 5 p.m. on Friday. That's tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much for talking to us. But another day, I'm going to ask you questions on the Super Falcons, because we don't know what's happening to them right now when it comes to international friendlies, because there's actually none built for them presently.
Yeah, we're planning a lot of things for the team. You also know that the team has an Olympic qualifying game. After this All Africa Games second leg against Mali, they have an Olympic Games qualifying fixture against the same Malian team, early in May, and then they fly direct to Toronto in Canada, and a number of friendly matches have been arranged, including with the women national teams of Canada and New Zealand.
Okay, thank you very much, Demola, for talking to us this morning.
It's my pleasure, Sisi. Thank you.
Okay, well, no need to dwell on the Super Eagles now.
I've got to say a couple of things. First of all, the Super Eagles don't have a coach until Stephen Keshi signs that contract. The contract has not been signed, so right now there's no coach as far as I'm concerned. And secondly, yesterday's game, I didn't think it was a lot of attitude and problems involved. I know in the past the Super Eagles have had that issue where players don't respect the team and all that. But yesterday, I didn't think that was the case. Yesterday, I saw a lot of tactical issues. Tactical coordination wasn't there, and like you alluded to at the start of the show, those guys didn't have a lot of time together to really train. And in the starting lineup yesterday, I counted about 4 debutants. Odieli Gallo, Nelson Igbonaya, Chima Akas,
and even the first time he played,
so I'm not really going to jump into any conclusions. And I thought obviously Alhaji Pinnick has the right to his opinion and all that, but for me, I didn't think it was attitude and problems at all.
Okay, that's what you think. Well, myself, definitely the same thing. Now, Tume Pokuola, the Secretary General of Nigerian Olympic Committee, talked about, we'll be talking to him on the program on the grants that were given to some athletes, and of course, preparations for the Olympic Games. He's online now, joining us from Lagos. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And of course, just yesterday we heard the news that 12 athletes were given the grant, but 11 because of the doping issue. Now, that athlete that wasn't named, can we get who that athlete actually is?
Well, really, we tried in the names of 15 people. They came down with us for 12 initially, then they removed 1. What I can tell you here is this. For now, I still don't want to discuss the name. It's not very appropriate until we sort out the issues behind that. But to tell you, this doping issues happened almost about 12 years ago. And what is with the NOC and with the IOC is that you must not at any point in time in your life get involved in any case that is not ethical. So it will affect you over a period of time, and that's what happened here now. Outside, obviously, I would get back to you. We know exactly who. I know the name. It's not proper now for that. But we have 11 other ones who are, given the scholarships, and we are going to use it and utilize it well for the coming Olympics.
Okay, now plans for the games. Of course, 11 athletes are already on it because of the scholarship they received. Now, other athletes that did not get this, what are the plans the NFF is actually making for them to have a better performance and, of course, better preparations for the game?
Yeah, at this point in time, I would say that we're working with some partners likely to come on board. Some of the corporate institutions have decided they would like to come on board. And when they support us, either in kind, cash, and so on, we will also pass it on to the athletes. The NOC, this period, we are very much athlete-focused. And they're working in sync with the NFC. I think we're very much focused on getting our athletes the best welfare packages towards this 2016 Olympics.
Now, plans.
Very crucial.